Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the performance of Physical Metal Cooler in the Cell Max event. Now, as I always begin every video, the Cell Max event is not the event to measure how good a unit is. This event is a very specific event. It is a challenging event, but it is best taken on with units with evasion or units with incredibly high levels of damage reduction and guard or type advantage. It's not really something that is best for you to take on essentially with a unit like Physical Metal Cooler, who is just raw defense. But that's not to say that we cannot test how well he does, as it is a good metric to see how he handles high level of damage in terms of just raw output numbers. Now the thing with Metal Cooler is his build-up time, so he takes a couple attacks to really get going to his true state, but honestly speaking, having used him quite a little bit, he's actually not as difficult to use as the Goku and Vegeta, whereas Goku and Vegeta need to take attacks before a certain time so that they can activate their morale boost. Cooler is very straightforward. He simply just needs to take the attacks. He doesn't need to do anything else beyond taking the attacks. He doesn't need to do anything, beyond essentially, taking damage. And that's very straightforward considering how much he heals. So Cooler is very simplistic to use. Just stick him in the harm's way, especially in these first couple phases, and let him take the stacks, take the damage, build up his defense, and he'll be more than good to go. Personally speaking, I think Cooler looks pretty solid. This is only at 55%, so if you do have a Rainbow Cooler or something like that, you can obviously expect to see a better performance, but even one dupe, simply one dupe, will make a very big difference to Cooler, as will link leveling, because he has a very strong link set, as most Wicked Bloodlines units do. So he is a very good unit to consider link leveling with, as you're going to see a lot of good kind of benefits from it. Obviously one of the major ones of them being the fact that he's going to get big bad bosses at the start of turn, and he also has Thirst for Conquest, and yeah, he just has a very good link set. Now obviously when it comes to units like this, or when it comes to events like this, I think it can kind of be misconstrued that a unit is bad or good depending on solely how they tank attacks. I think Cooler brings a lot more than that. Cooler is the first real kind of showcase of a unit that is not only, but he is really mainly a healer. And I think that's an interesting design philosophy for them to try out. I think it's really cool. I think he brings something interesting to the Wicked Bloodlines team. Anyone can, in theory, I want to say, be a damage dealer. They could just stick damage reduction on him, stick guard on him, and then everyone will love him, everyone will think he's great, which obviously I'm not fully complaining about. If they were to do that, that would be pretty righteous. But the thing is he heals a lot. Very similar to Kid Buu, he just heals a crap ton, over 40% in certain turns, especially with his link set. So he can heal a lot, not to mention what he gets from orbs, not to mention what he gets just in general. So yeah, he is actually a pretty impressive unit to me. I personally think he's actually quite exciting to use. I think he's going to be a unit that's a lot of fun to use. And yeah, I think overall, in terms of like viability and simplicity, I actually think he's pretty simple. Unconditional revive is very good. Unconditional revive, healing, very simple to activate, very good conditions as well. Being below 50% HP is not uncommon in the hard events, so getting that extra 10% is pretty easy. Getting hit by a single attack to incur another 10% is also fairly easy. And yeah, just overall his whole kit seems to be pretty good. I think if there is one thing missing from him, I would have really liked for them to have just placed crit chance in his passive, even if it was just against pure Saiyans. I think, as a unit, him not having that like built-in crit, at least against one category, does impact on him a little bit, especially considering the AGL one did have crit. So personally speaking, I would say that if there's absolutely anything that is possibly a little bit kind of not so cool, it's maybe that. But I think overall he's pretty simple to use, and I actually quite like his build. I think, for me, as someone who, kind of likes units to have different kinds of builds, I think this is an exciting way for them to go. Yes, definitely, it's going to put some people in two minds, which I understand. But at the same time, it's not like, I don't think they've done them badly. Like, I think, they've tried something different, but I still think Cooler is very, very, very serviceable in a ton of content. So even though they have gone a little bit different with this build, he still does high damage. He still does bring a lot to the table. And yeah, just in general, he does do a lot as a unit. He does bring a lot into the game, and he will help a ton of players out. So yeah, for me personally, I think he's great. So yeah, I think he brings a lot to the table. You can always say a unit can do more, but realistically speaking, at 55% to have such a high level of defense, to bring so much healing to the team, I think, honestly speaking, is just very good. And so I personally like him a lot. I think he's great. I think you can dislike him if you want to. I'm not going to say he's the best unit in the game. I think Strength Cooler is definitely better. I think Strength Cooler is definitely a unit that has a much bigger high than Physical Cooler. I think whereas Physical Cooler brings a lot to the team, I think Strength Cooler can carry a team. I think that's kind of the difference between them. I feel like Strength Cooler is a hard carry. If you have two Strength Cooler, you can hard carry an event. If you have two Physical Cooler, okay, maybe if one is Rainbow, you can hard carry the event, but the two Physical Cooler will do a great job, especially keeping you up in terms of health, but they're not going to absolutely, destroy the content between the two of them. And that's where I think Cooler stands as a unit. I think he sits in that realm of being exceptionally good, but needing one more good unit on the team to really see the best out of him. Like, having him and Strength Cooler is a huge, huge win. So yeah, obviously we didn't get to see him against the Tech Cell, but yeah, we are going to see him, and we're going to see his revive skill. We're going to see another turn from him tanking normals. So we're going to actually see a lot of him here, which I think is good. So obviously here he's going to take the super attack. Obviously he's going to die. He has no damage reduction. He would never survive it. Even a Rainbow Cooler will not survive the super attack. Maybe, no, probably won't. He probably won't survive a super attack even at full health. But he still definitely will do a pretty good job. Obviously tanking normals, and his revive skill is unconditional, so you can just stick him into that first slot and just let him die. If you're concerned about tanking a super attack, or maybe you don't have a unit that can tank the super attack in that first slot or anything like that. So yeah, but here, we are going to see him. I am going to use the active skills. Always fun to see them, and also I just want to see how much damage Coolers does do. But yeah, Cooler's active skill is also something that is useful. 30% health regen. It does do damage as well, so it is a very useful ability. Now it does stun, but stunning is not effective in this event, and not effective in a lot of the super hard content. So yeah, obviously it's not really that important. Red zone, all those kind of events don't really allow stunning, so yeah, that's obviously just something there. But the regen is very helpful, and I mean, you can see the damage is decent as well. So yeah, overall I would say pretty good, honestly speaking. Here we're going to see him tank a normal. So obviously no big bad bosses active. That would be a very big difference as well. Link leveling this guy, like I said, is something that will help out quite a bit. But 7 mil, very decent in terms of like attack stats and things like that. Very nice damage as well. Follow-up attack. An additional super would have been nice, but I wouldn't build him additionals. And 91k, honestly, not that bad, considering we are basically guaranteed to get back 10% at the end of the turn. We're also guaranteed to get back another 20% next turn if we're below 50% health from the other cooler. So yeah, realistically speaking, it's really not that bad. So yeah, for me, I am quite happy with the overall performance. I think if you link level him, if you big bad bosses him up, you'll see him take very minimal damage, if any damage. And taking no damage from the normals is really half the battle against Cellmax. So yeah, overall, I'm really happy with that from Cooler, and I think you should be too. I think generally speaking, you'll have a pretty good time, and yeah, but that's it from me. Bye.